Hola clase, today we are going to do some review with ¿Qué hora es? Remember, ¿Qué hora es? Means what time is it, or what is the hour more specifically. So we have gone through this presentation and the one we'll do here in a second before, but some of you didn't watch these, and so I am just going to actually recycle them a little bit, and hopefully this time you will watch them and you will be able to use that information to help you with being able to tell the time in Spanish. So like I said earlier, ¿Qué hora es? Its literal translation is what hour is it? So when we are telling someone the time in Spanish, we use a certain structure, and we've talked about that. We use the word son plus las and then plus the hour, which is the number in Spanish. So for 2 o'clock, I would say son las dos, son las dos. Okay, if it was 3 o'clock, we'd say son las tres. Okay, and then these were the ones where we actually have to tell the time. I had some people say, I can't tell time on this type of clock. So the shorter hand is the hour hand, the longer hand is the minute hand. And so since this is la hora en punto, the time on the dot or the time to the hour, this is always going to tell you the number that you will say, and then this is the minute, which will be on the hour, so you don't have to say anything for that really. When you're doing in punto, you're just doing the hour. So that one would have been 9 o'clock, and so that is son las nueve. This clock, the shorter hand shows pointing to the 10. It's at the 12, which means o'clock. So this one is showing 10 o'clock. So in Spanish, that would be son las 10. This one, the shorter hand is pointing to the 7. The 12 is on the, or I'm sorry, the longer hand is on the 12. So that's on the hour. So this clock is showing 7 o'clock. So in Spanish, son las 7. Here, the shorter hand is pointing to the 5. It's on the 12, which means to the hour or o'clock. So it's 5 o'clock, and this would be son las 5. Okay, telling time in Spanish is muy fácil. And hopefully you will, like I said, have watched this video or rewatch it, and that's going to help. So the only difference that there is when we're doing time is when we're talking about 1 o'clock. So you use a little bit different structure. To say it is 1 o'clock in Spanish, instead of saying son, you say es la una. It is 1. And so when we're doing son las dos, for example, we're saying it is 2, and 2 is more than 1 hour. So that's why we use son. But when we say it is 1, we're going to use es because it's just 1 hour. And that's what I talk about here on this slide. And so you can read through that and remember that anytime you're using 1, whether it's 1 o'clock on the dot or when we're doing minutes with 1 o'clock, you're always going to use the structure es la and then continue on. All right, so that's that presentation. Let's go ahead and hop over to review the one that was on telling time with minutes. So that was more with la hora. So we know we can tell time to the hour, which is in punto, which we just reviewed. So let's talk about telling time with minutes, con minutos. If you want to say like it's 2:15, I could say son las 2:15. And then we learned later in the week, last week, that we can also do son las 2:15, cuarto. So quince is fine for 15, but so is cuarto. And then this is, like I said, how you would do the son las 2:15. So if I want to say 4:15, that would be son las 4:15. I could also say son las 4:15, and then 7:15 would be son las 7:15, or it could be son las 7:15. The other one that was a little bit different was one if we're using 30. So like here in this example, it's 1:30. We could say es la 1:30. That is fine. But we can also say es la 1:30 because media means half. And so that's 30 minutes. So either es la 1:30 for 1:30 or es la 1:30. Both are correct. 5:30 would be son las 5:30, but we could also say son las 5:30. 9:30 would be son las 9:30, but we could also say son las 9:30, and those would be correct. And then we did these phrases de la madrugada, de la mañana, de la tarde, de la noche. Mediodía is noon, so 12 p.m., and medianoche is midnight, 12 a.m. The other thing I want to make sure you understand. So if you have, let's say we want to say it's 6:17, you would say son las 6:17. Remember, you need to have the hour, son las, then the hour, the word y, and then the minute number, however you would say that. So if I wanted to say it is 3:14, I would say son las 3:14, because trace is 3. Then I need the and between the hour and the minutes, and then 14 is 14. All right, so hopefully both of these videos will help you to understand and review a little bit, spark your memory again about la hora en punto y la hora con minutos. Adiós, mis estudiantes.